Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Money Grabs, where we give you information part time. We just want to go into something that is serious, and I would like you to pay attention, listen to it all the way through. And I will try as much as possible for it not to be too long so that you will not consume most of your data the way people have been complaining about their data. Well, it was the data issue did not come out some part of last year until they increased the tariff on calls and all these things before the stuff just jumped up and many people start managing their data. Well, subscribe to this channel, be part of it so that you can be getting content like this and more about this UAS money that we are expecting. And our discussion is going around the code that Madam Zita, the Ambassador Zita, that she mentioned in her B note. The question, based on what I was able to gather from my comment section and other people that we desired kind of discussion last night, is the code the code will allow them to gain access, and the code will allow them to move money. And now the question is, for example, they related with it OTP. That if you have OTP, everybody should understand that. So let's use that same formula. OTP will not be sent to you randomly. OTP will not be sent to you if you are not ready for the next phase. Because when you apply for something that requires OTP, you must have completed certain tasks before the OTP will now come for you to finalize it. It's like a final verification before the final move. So while with the international monitoring body or the government give the stakeholders code when the stakeholders are not ready, because they must have met certain conditions before the code should be has been released. That one aside, when the code was sent, according to them, what were they doing? What were they doing that they did not further and disburse at that particular time? Because when they get the code, the next thing for them is to disburse. So what were they doing? Why were they wasting time? That they didn't do anything until that code expired. And what we made to understand is like they are giving 70 something hours, 72 hours or something for them to use that code before the code expires. So for 72 hours, they didn't do anything and the code expired. And they've been telling us that everything is settled. The last thing that we're waiting for is the code. And now according to them, they got the code. They didn't disburse until it expired. They are now looking for another one. Now they are now waiting for another one to be sent. Then what's the guarantee now that they are ready to disburse now if they get the new code? Because we can't go by their words all the time. Because they give us information, they will make it look, this is what is going to happen on Monday. Everything is settled. We have done the final thing. We have done this and that. Everything is settled. The only thing we want now is this. And when that day comes, it will not happen. And they will not say they are doing some things on indoor something, they are indoor meeting, closed door meeting, this and that. Then what happened? Why did you give us this? So the same thing now. What were they doing when they got that date, that code, and they got the hours at the automaton, and they still didn't disburse until it expired? And now again, how are we sure now that if they get the code to Monday or Tuesday, how are we sure that they are ready to disburse and nothing will disrupt it? Remember, I will tell you one time, they said anytime that they come up, they'll say, we would have disbursed 3 days ago, only something that happened. We would have disbursed yesterday, something happened. Then, assuming you were planning to disburse that particular time, that means you have settled everything, you have done everything correctly, you wanted to disburse, then something happened that extended it. So now, what have you concluded on, done, before getting that code? And why didn't they act on it until it expires, that they have to now be waiting for another one? I'm directing this message to Ambassador Zita, to Madam Ngozi, to anybody from the pioneer side, that what were they doing all this while that they have to get the code and it expires and they are yet to disburse. And now again, are they ready to disburse when they get it? Now, is that the final thing that we are waiting for? Or when they get, they will remember the ghost account, they will remember this and that, they will start prolonging and dragging their feet? Because at least it must surely come one day. Then why are we prolonging it? The stakeholders might be rich, maybe they don't care, but at the same time, they should consider the people that are dying, the people that need that money. And why are they wasting time? So that's it. So I think I've answered it. I've helped you to answer questions because many people are throwing the questions to me. And I say, okay, let's throw it out there. Let the people that we look up to for information, the people that give us information about this pioneer thing, let them respond to it. So what I want you to do so that we can get answer to this question is forward it, share it, and point it. If you are in a group that you belong to, share it to them, but bad them with it. Let them come and tell us what have they been doing that the code have to expire and they have not disbursed, and now they are giving us another thing and they are fighting and they are so pompous about it that yes, it's the code, it expires, we are getting another one. When we get another one, that's the last thing we will disburse. Are we sure this time around? And they should not stop telling us that this and that, like they have the final say. They have said so many things that didn't come to light. So it's possible for people to not get along with them. I'm not blaming them that they are the one calling the shot. They are not the one making the decision. They are just representing and giving us information based on what they get. But at the same time, they should not be angry the way they are angry. Because if they position themselves for information, you should be ready for the scrutiny and the criticism that follows it. And I believe I've tried my best. I'm not insultive. I'm not arrogant. I'm straightforward question, and we need straightforward answer. And we hope that they will respond to it. And at the same time, how can they disburse genuinely if they are still selling slots? Because if they are telling them we're selling slots, this and that, our guys say we should continue to sell slots, then it's the possibility that it's because of that slot is why they are not disbursing, because they still want to sell more slots. There's a possibility for that, but let them explain themselves. Remember, this is the money grass where we give information per time. I'm sorry for taking much of your time, but I just have to stress that so that there will be clarity. That the 2 questions or 3 questions that I'm asking, let them respond to it. So share it to their platform, to their group, to anywhere. Let them respond to it, because we need to be holding them accountable sometimes. I'm talking about the stakeholders. They can't be taking us for a fool. And they all sit down there that they are working, they are expecting. Sometimes we celebrate, they have gotten it. Later they say they have not gotten it. Later we hear it's because of code. It's in Liam. They have lifted Liam. They have access to the account. That's what they say. They say once they leave the Liam, they have access to the account. Now they lifted the Liam, they have access to the account. Now they came out again with the code. So they just have to come out and give us explanation. Thank you very much. I'll see you in our next video. And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, subscribe now. More information will be coming. Tomorrow is going to be a day of explosion. Tomorrow is going to be a day of information everywhere. The explosion might be financial explosion, might be explosion of anger and frustration, but who knows? But we just pray for the best. And that's what I said this morning. Go to church, pray for the best to happen. Nobody wants to be fighting. Nobody wants to be arguing. Nobody wants to be agitating. Everybody wants to receive and be happy. And that is what we are hoping for. So subscribe to this channel for more details, more information. The comment section is really open. You can use the comment section virtually. I will respond to some like this one now. These are the questions that we are getting, and we just have to put it out. So let us know what you are going through. Let us know what you are expecting from this grant and last. So when we package some things together, we can find a way to slot it in and ask the right people, and we hope that they will respond to it. Thank you. See you in our next post.